got all the calculations. Part 3 of this series is figuring out the cost per day. Well, I did this calculation at $2.10 per mile. In order to get this calculation, what you're going to need is your fixed cost, your fuel cost per day, your added costs, IFTA, and your dispatching fee. Well, I'm gonna plug in my numbers to this, and my cost, fixed cost a week is $1,125. The fuel cost will be 73 cents at an average of $4.85 per gallon. On average, just say you do 600 miles a day. Your IFTA, $200 a week, pretty high and super ego, but hey, I just roll with the punches. And your dispatching fee is your load gross times 12%. So we plug these numbers in, which is my fixed cost being $1,125 divided by 6 will be your operating days of the week. You'll come up with $187.50. Your fuel cost at 73 cents at 3,600 miles divided by 6, which is 6 work days of the week, will be $438. Your IFTA, $200 divided by 6, which will come up to $33.33. Your dispatching fee, which is $2.10 per mile at 3,600 miles, which will give you $7,560 divided by your 6-day work week, will cost you about $151.20. Gives you a grand total of $810.03 to operate at an average of 600 miles a day for 6 days a week. You come over here, $2.10 per mile at 600 miles, which give you $1,260. You subtract the $810.03 will give you $449.97 to the business that day for 6 days, which will give you $2,699.88 to the business for a 7-day work week. Now, most of these numbers in here is variable numbers. The only number that is pretty constant is the fixed cost, and every other number is variable. So you can use this calculation, plug in your numbers, and come up with the numbers that you feel will help you be more profitable. Like I said, say if you do 200 miles a day, a lot of these numbers are changing. Will change your fuel, your IFTA, your dispatching fee, but the fixed cost will stay the same. Now, this $2,699.88 at $2.10 a mile. Understand this: at $2.50 a mile, you will be plus $1,267.20 because your fuel will not change. Only thing would change is the 12% dispatching fee will go up slightly, but it will leave you to bring to the business $3,967.08. The objective is to try to find the right average weekly to stay profitable. I did this calculation at $2.10. I would say you want to be around 220, 235. All last year I operated about 245 to 270. So I brought about $1.20 plus to the truck, sometimes $1.15. And my profit margin last year was great. But know this, that once this fuel goes down, say $3.85, it will calculate about $300 some dollars to your pocket. You get a higher rate per mile. This number will go up. So with that being said, your cost per day is a good tool to use to know if a load is good for you to take. I had numerous individuals want to do like 800-900 you know, grossing runs every day, of course you're going to pay less on fuel, but know that once you divide this number by 6, which is 6 work days, that's how much it's going to cost you per day to operate that 18 wheeler. And of course your fuel is going to go down, but you know, if you do 800 gross, 900 gross a day times 6, it's not going to be too profitable to put you around under $2,000. Maybe under $1,500 a week. So take that in mind when you're doing so. But these are the numbers that we gotta hope to come in our favor, which is the price per gallon and the rate per mile. Those are detrimental to our success in trucking. So be mindful of that with your lane selection, because your lane selection plays a great deal with both of these, your rate per mile and your rate per gallon that you get. Because like right now in Texas, the average is about 370, 360. You go up north, it's still around close to 485. You go West Coast, is still about almost $5, a little more. So pay close attention to that. But these calculations will help you when you're making a calculated decision with accepting a load and knowing how to run when you decide to run in your preferred lanes.